Hi, this is Sandy with Apple Cottage, and I wanted to just talk to you about how we heat our house. Our house is all electric, and we didn't want those huge electric bills, so we bought a wood stove. We bought one from South Dakota that's actually designed out of Canada, and I'm gonna, spin that around so you can see it. It's called a Sedora. It's a fabulous stove. You can actually burn, I think they say that you can burn 18 different things in there. We have burned coal before because Joe works at a coal mine, but for the most part we burn pine because that we can get locally. And so behind me is our stack for the next few days. Probably it'll last me about 5 days, depending on how cold it is. Today we won't burn it at all because it's supposed to be 55, and so we won't use our wood stove at all. To split it, we got this so that I didn't have to have Joe split it all the time. I wanted something that would be easy. It's completely cast iron. It's pretty heavy. I'll show it to you. And I'm going to show you how it works. I'm going to take a piece of pine. We use a 3-pound sledgehammer because that's easy for me to handle. And I'm just going to put it in, and I'll show you how easy it'll split. So I'm going to lift the camera a little bit and move it so it's a little more so you can see it. And I just try to line it up in the center at first. I'm going to give it a couple good whacks so that it'll stay in the position I want. And it starts to split. And then I'm going to take these ones that I split and split them again. And then I have a box over here that all that kindling goes into. So I need a few small pieces for when I first start the fire, and then the rest of them can be a little bit bigger. But it's quick, it's easy, and anybody can do it. And we try to just keep our kindling box pretty full. I also have some wood. I'm going to take the camera and show you. There's the kindling box. And then over here is a box that has pickets from a picket fence. So I'm going to raise my camera some. And I'm going to turn it over to the wood stove again. Now, this is really interesting. This is how I control the airflow. It opens from the top. I'm going to lift the camera so you can see that. There's some ashes I have to clean out. And it also has this little door over here. So the thing that's different about this wood stove than other wood stoves is that when you're filling it, you're actually filling it backwards. Usually when you start a fire, you start with the kindling down here at the very bottom, then you work your way up and you're adding bigger pieces. On this one, because of the way the air flows when you first start, because you leave this lid open a little teeny bit, you put the largest logs on the bottom. So I'll do a layer of logs. I'll put some cardboard and some paper. Then I'll put another layer of logs, kind of crisscross them so that there's some good airflow when they start to drop down. Until you get to the very top and you're just putting kindling. And when I get it all done, I take it down, but instead of closing it, I'm going to leave it part way open. And so that air will stream down in through there. So it's literally pulling the flames and the heat down and then back up through the chimney. It's very efficient. So I usually have the fan, the black fan over by the wood. I have a couple fans that pull it and draw it all the way across the basement and start to go upstairs. And then we have some vents that one has a fan that pulls the hot air up, and the other one, automatically, without a fan, pull that air down so it keeps circulating all through the house. It has been so economical for us. And actually, the year we bought this, there was a tax incentive when we did our taxes that we got a portion of that price back. I'm not sure they'd still do that, but because we've had the stove for quite a while. But it has been a great stove for us. I'd highly recommend it. The other thing that was an option, this top is actually stainless steel, and you can actually fry an egg on it if you wanted to. A lot of times I'll put a pot with water so we have a little more humidity, because Wyoming is dry anyway. And so if I'm feeling that the house is really dry, I can just put a tea kettle or a pot and water will just boil and it'll just circulate through the house. We have a window over to the side, and that's where we bring our wood in. Joe made a little slide because I have flower beds, surprise, in front of that window, and I didn't want them being trampled as we brought wood in each winter. Even though they would be dormant, it would just be basically roots, but the soil would be compacted, and I didn't want that. And so I did a little video clip of that, and I'll edit that into this video. And then I'm going to go outside and I'm going to show you our wood piles and how much wood we usually have. In a winter time, we usually go through a regular winter, probably 3 cords of wood, and it completely heats our whole house. From sometimes October till sometimes mid-May, depending on the weather. On a bad year, we will probably go through 4.5 cords of wood. Last year, it was easily 4 cords that we went through. If you can hear a noise in the background, Joe is actually cleaning out the chimney. We bought this thing that attaches to the drill, and it has this little whirly thing, and he can be at the bottom of the chimney outside, and it'll clean the whole one all the way up to the very top, where he used to have to go onto the roof, and I thought that was a little dangerous. The older you get, you really don't need to be on the roof when it could be icy and slippery. So a friend of his at work had one of them, so we went and bought one, and it has been great to clean the chimney with. It's fast, it's quick, it's easy. I'll try to take a picture of it so that I can add that, so if you're looking for something to clean your chimney, you'll be able to. Otherwise, I'll link it in the description below. So I'm going to go outside, but remember to like and share and subscribe to my station, and I will be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm ready. It looks good. We have maybe one more load after this, and then it could be pretty tall like last time. So now I'm outside, and you can see our little short pile of wood, and then we go over, and this is our main big pile that's drying right now. There's probably 6 cords of wood in this part, and then the part that we're using that's been drying for a year or 2 is over here. I just stack my tomato cages along it, and I'll move them as we get farther back in the pile. There's about 3 cords in this pile. And Joe just wheels it over in the wheelbarrow. If it's really snowy, he'll actually put it on a big sled, and it just comes over, and this is where the slide hooks onto, and I just open the window and I catch the wood and he puts it in there, so it's a good team tag thing for us. But you can see the sun is bright and shiny, and we have tarps over top of the wood just to help it with the drying. It's facing northwest, and so it gets a lot of wind there, and so it can help with the snow being piled on top. A lot of times we'll get a little bit of snow and then it starts to melt and the birds come down because it makes little pockets because it's uneven, and they have bird baths, and that's real cute to do. So, but this is our wood. Right now we probably have 9.5 cords of wood because we always like to be ahead, and so that's really our wood video. So if you like our videos, make sure you subscribe, you like, you share them with your friends. If you have questions about how and what we do, our electricity bill, when we live in Gillette, everything is together. You have your electric, your sewer, your water, your garbage all together. In the wintertime, our electric bill will be about $90. That's not bad for an all-electric house. So we'll just keep doing videos. If you have other questions, we'll try to answer them, or I'll do a video about them. And have a great day.